Well, simply put, if you don't have a healthy planet, you don't have clean air to breathe or water to drink, or places to grow your food, whatever else you have planned won't matter. And that was kind of a quote from Carl Sagan, but I butchered it a little bit. But the environment always should matter because that's what our health, that's what our economy relies on. And it's unfortunate that the tariffs have been used as a cover for anti-environmental legislation or proposals where we're just going to build anything, anywhere, wherever we want to, without considering the impact to local communities, to their waterways, to Indigenous rights. And you can't have, justice for everyone if you don't give it to everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, it has to be for everybody, and that includes our environment. So
how do you think is the progress in the last 10 years or so when it comes to environment, Paris Climate Agreement? How do you think the progress has been in Canada?
I think, like everything else, mixed. On certain things, we have moved forward and built a stronger collective consciousness about how the environment's important. And in other things, we're still laggards environmentally. We still produce the most garbage. We still have one of the highest carbon emissions per capita. We still are the ones that cut down most of our forests globally. There's a lot of issues, and I think people take comfort in the idea that the mythology of Canada, which is we're always going to have enough water, we're always going to have space, we're always going to have enough food, but then people haven't really understood that the policies that are going to make that happen over the next 20, 30 years, 10 years even, are not in place, and that's really unfortunate. I think first and foremost we have to have a government that understands climate and understands the impact and how it intersects with everything. It intersects with our health, it intersects with our economy, it intersects with our happiness, our livability. It is not something that we are going to be able to evade just by pretending it doesn't exist and ignoring the science. We are seeing ice storms, we are seeing forest fires, we are seeing increased air temperatures, more flooding. These things are happening. So first and foremost, we need a government that actually understands climate and understands how it impacts the local community, because avoiding the situation is not going to get us anywhere. And then I expect that government isn't easy. You're always going to be making some trade-offs, but historically the trade-off has been environment or the economy. And that is a really outdated, outmoded point of view. What we know is that the jurisdictions across the globe that have strong environmental protections also have similarly strong economies. And so any government that's very serious about the economy needs to be also very serious about the environment and how we build that in order to build our economies, not to destroy it for the sake of our economies. Yeah, so Civics 101, the provincial government's going to have the most influence over the Greenbelt, Lake Simcoe, protections for wetlands. The local environment is kind of left to the provinces. However, the federal government has a high degree of influence when they're giving out infrastructure money. Are they giving out infrastructure money that's going to cause more of our wetlands to be paved over, more of our forests to be cleared? They could put conditions on money to say, we are going to increase infrastructure money to communities that take flooding and climate change seriously. Lake Simcoe, again, money being put towards that. Greenbelt, making sure that their infrastructure, housing supply funds, all those things don't actually undermine the environmental protections or incentivize what's happening provincially to destroy more. So they don't have direct jurisdiction, but I think when you're looking at some of these things as a federal responsibility, when you're talking about federal sovereignty, you're thinking about what's going to be happening with our food, what's going to be happening with our water, what's happening with our local economies, and you can't have those by holding money to just let provinces do whatever they want to do, and the environment, to heck with that, right? Whatever happens. So, I expect the federal government to use its influence, its proper authority, to ensure that they are incentivizing the pathways that will lead us to more community, more health, and more interconnectedness.
Thank you so much.